Numeracy lesson for the start of chapter 5 is a question that will certainly be on your EQAO. I know that it will. It's on every year, and it's one of those questions that doesn't quite fit exactly with our curriculum. So I touch on it now with this numeracy session. So the question is, and this sort of thing happens, if you go to a store, you'll see this, right? A sweater has an original price of 54 bucks. However, it was marked down 20% of its original ticket price. And then it's further reduced. So it doesn't get sold at its sale price. So they stick it on the clearance rack and take another 15% off from it. So how much will it cost after adding tax? So how much will you pay when you walk out the door if you buy this sweater? So just some things that you need to understand. One is when it says marked down by 20%, what that means is, excuse me, is that you're really paying 80% of the original, right? If you had bought it at this stage, if you'd bought it before the clearance, you'd be paying 80% of the original cost. Remember, of means, that's a terrible X, but of means multiply, okay? Of means multiply. And then after that, so you have a price, some cost at this point, the first sale price. Then it gets put down another 15%. Well, there, again, when you mark it down 15, then you're really paying 85% of the sale price, which this is the sale price, right? So there's an original price, then there's the sale price, and then you're actually paying 85% of that. And then at the end, when you add tax, you just take whatever the final clearance sale price is and multiply it by 1.13 because tax is 13%. So you're going to pay basically 113% of the cost. So we just go through the strategy of solving it then. You take 80% of the original price. The original price was $54, right? So your first sale price is 80% of that, $43. Then it's marked down again. So that price, after the second markdown, is 85% of this cost, right? So you just put that in your calculator and you get $36.72. So this is the price. That's essentially the ticketed price. Then you go to the clerk and they punch it into the cash register. They add tax. And it'll end up being 1.13 times this price, which is $41.49. Okay, so the strategy. First, take the original cost and multiply it by 80% because it's not 20% of it, it's 20% less, so it's 80%. Then you take that price, multiply it by the 85, and then that total by 1.13. Okay, and again, you'll see a question like this on your assignment. You'll have ample opportunity to practice. Okay, the second question, same idea, using percents. This one's weird. This one's, he receives a bill he bought for $185.50. Oops, I made a mistake here. I'll fix it after. $185.50, okay, because he bought 5 widgets. So widgets, my generic, could be anything. Sweaters or t-shirts or whatever. Okay, that's a widget, doesn't matter. So this is the price, 5 widgets for $185.50. That's including the tax. So this is when he walked out the door. When he walked out the door, he looked at his receipt at the bottom. That's what he paid, $185.50. That's the including price tax. The question is, how much was each widget? Okay? So the strategy then is to find the before tax cost for all 5. So I'm going to use this $185.50. That's including 13% tax, right? So I'm going to take away the 13% tax to figure that out, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to show you. And then whatever price that is. So say, for example, it's 150 bucks then. Then you say, okay, then each widget would have been 150 divided by 5, 30 bucks. Okay? So I'm just going to fix this because I made a typo here. $185.50. Okay. So let's go through that. We're going to say, for the first step then, find the before tax cost. That's what we're doing here. So we're going to say A is the after tax cost, which is $185.50, and B is the before tax cost, which we need to find out. Okay, so how do you take off the tax? Well, the equation is, and we did this in the last question, the equation is that the after-tax cost equals 1.13 times the before-tax cost. Okay? So now we want to go through the steps of solving for B, the before-tax cost. And to do that, you probably know, we use opposite operations. 1.13 is multiplied by B, so now we're going to divide both sides by 1.13. So now this cancels, you get B by itself. I'm going to put B on the left. B equals A, my after-tax cost, divided by 1.13. Okay? Then we can solve for that, right? We can then say B, this is my substitute and solve, equals 185.50. 1.13, and I'm not going to do that in my head. I'd like to, but I can't. But his before tax cost then is, but this is not the answer to the question, this is just the before tax cost, 164.16. Okay. So that means that 5 widgets before tax is 164.16. Therefore, each widget must be that price divided by 5. Or the cost of each widget is $32.83. Again, didn't do that one in my head. Okay, so therefore, the before tax cost of each widget is $32.83. Okay, so you'll have a chance to practice that in your assignment, and yeah, we're going to move on to something quite different with the rest of Chapter 5.